Good evening. I'm Dr. Matt Dahlm, the proud principal of South Hills High School. Welcome to tonight's parent and student senior meeting. Can only imagine what it must be like starting your senior year from home. But a couple things I want you to know. We're here for you. We want to make sure that your senior year is still successful and that you remain on track for your goals, whether it's graduation, getting an A through G, finishing your CCI indicators, or being ready for the workforce. There's a couple things you need to do from a distance standpoint in order to make sure that you stay on pace. So tonight's meeting is very important. Listen to our amazing team of counselors as they tell you all the things that you need to know so that you can graduate and be ready for the real world.
Hi, my name is Matt LeDuc and I'm the Director of Activities here at South Hills High School. Though this year looks different, we are doing our absolute best to bring a wonderful year to the senior class. We still plan to host a variety of senior-based activities throughout the year virtually as well as in socially distanced manner. Our homecoming has currently been postponed to second semester and our prom is still on schedule to happen in May. As we move forward, we'll be hosting virtual events such as Club and Grub this Thursday night, which will be an online club rush, as well as in-person events but from socially distant manner like our South Hills Drive-In Theater experience, coming Friday, October 9th. Though things look different this year, it is our goal as an ASB to provide as many opportunities for students to get involved and stay engaged in this new digital world. For all the up-to-date information, please follow South Hills ASB on both Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for the 12th grade parent and student meeting this evening. I'm Shauna Hansen, one of the school counselors, and my caseload includes students with last names that start with letters R-O through Z. Our goal tonight is to help you feel informed about the college selection and application process, as well as how you can navigate this process with your child. We will be sharing about the different college options available to students, some specifics about the applications and financial aid, as well as how to stay involved and informed this school year. I really miss having students on our campus, but I know that we will continue to provide a quality education and help students through the college application and selection process. We look forward to sharing that information with you tonight.
Hi, my name is Danielle Alexander and I am counselor for the students with the last names A through E. I'm a proud graduate of South Hills High School and I have been lucky to be a counselor here for the last 15 years. I look forward to working with you and your students. Please feel free to contact me if you need anything.
Hello Husky families, my name is Alexis Mealy and I am the counselor for students with last names beginning with F through L-I. This is my 5th year at South Hills High School and my 8th year as a school counselor. I am also the Wellness Center coordinator and I'm so excited to introduce the new Wellness Center to our students as soon as they arrive back on campus. The mental well-being of our students is one of my top priorities and we know students are struggling. We have been working hard to put together digital resources for our students such as our Wellness Center website and virtual calming space, which will be discussed later on in our presentation. Thank you for joining us and we hope to see you soon.
Hello everyone, my name is Sasha Heflin. I've worked with Covina Valley Unified School District for the past 8 years, first as the district's mental health services coordinator, and recently as one of the counselors here at South Hills High School. I oversee students with the last names beginning with the letter R-I through L-O. I look forward to working closely with all the students this year, and hopefully we'll see you all in person soon.
Thank you again for joining us for tonight's meeting. Here are some of the things that we will be going over throughout this meeting. We will introduce the counseling team, review the requirements for graduation and A through G, show you how to access and use the college application resource guide. We'll show you how students can continue with the college search process and show you some tools that are available. We will go over post-secondary options for students. We will review SAT testing. We will go over a brief information regarding financial aid and some other helpful information like AP and IB testing, how to use the parent portal, and how to stay connected and involved throughout this school year. We are presenting a lot of information. We will be using the chat feature, but we would like you to save some of your questions for the end because we will be covering a lot of information. If the question you're asking will be covered in the presentation, we may say that so that you know that your question will be answered. Otherwise, at the end, we will stay open for about 30 minutes at the conclusion of the presentation to answer any questions in the chat. Here's our counseling team. You just met us all, Miss Alexander, Miss Mealy, Mr. Heflin, and myself, and Mrs. Hansen. We do want to remind you of our role as school counselors. We operate in 3 different domains. The academic realm, so we help with student schedules, requirements, graduation, classes, things like that. But we also work with students in the college and career areas, which is a lot of what we'll be talking about tonight. And then the third part of our role is helping students deal with the social and emotional aspects of their lives and how those things pertain to school. As a counseling department, we do have a mission statement, and it is our mission to provide a proactive and equitably comprehensive program to address students' academic, college, career, and social and emotional needs. Respecting students' backgrounds and individual circumstances, the counselors collaborate with stakeholders to ensure all students become successful, contributing citizens and lifelong learners in a diverse and changing world. Here's some ways you can stay informed throughout this year, both in regards to the college and career process, but also in terms of senior activities. All of our seniors should have added the 2021 Google Classroom. On there, we share a lot of very important information, including college visits, scholarship opportunities, meetings, presentations, things like that. That's the join code. They should all have joined at this point. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, both the South Hills Counseling sites or links and the South Hills ASB. Counseling is going to be a little bit more towards the students' academics, college and career, and their overall well-being. ASB will be directed a little bit more towards events on campus and how to be involved, especially during distance learning. Students should be pretty familiar with this paper or something similar to it. Over time, we've talked about it a lot, and students should be pretty clear in terms of what they need both for graduation and for being on track for meeting the college readiness requirements, or what we call the A through G requirements. Students should absolutely review their transcripts to ensure that they are in the classes that they need to graduate and meet the A through G requirements. So this is something that they should be familiar with. They should be able to check their transcript. In a meeting last week, we went over with your students how to review their transcript and how to access that transcript on the ARIES system. So it's important to go over that and make sure that your student is on track for graduation and for meeting the college readiness requirements. We have a really new and great tool that we have made available to students. So often we spend all of September, October, and November working with students in regards to their college applications and college selection process. And since we are not on site, we wanted to make sure that the students still had access to us as their counselors and all of the valuable information and resources that we typically provide. So we've spent a lot of time building a college application resource guide. It's a website that is for South Hills students, with information that is specific to them and our classes, our processes, our procedures, and we encourage you and invite you to check it out. It is linked on the South Hills website under the Counseling tab. There's a secondary tab that says College Application Resource Guide. It's viewable on the phone, on a tablet, and on a desktop or laptop computer. There's different ways to access the navigation bar on the left, but there could be 3 little lines and it drops it down. And all of those are different pages accessible on this college application resource guide, including college visits, how to search for colleges, community college information, financial aid resources and information, how to access different tools in Naviance. And we'll go over a lot of those different things tonight, but if you have questions or you're not sure, chances are really high that that question can be answered in this college application resource guide or through one of the video tutorials that is linked in there. This is the link to access that, but as I said, it is also on the South Hills website. And then there's a video. It's a YouTube tutorial. It's about 5 minutes, and it walks students and parents through how to use this guide so that they are able to see all of the tools and resources that are available to them. We encourage you to check this out and use this tool and resource for you and your students. Next, I'd like to talk about the college search process and the tools that we have available to students. I'm going to talk a little bit about Naviance, but one of the coolest features in Naviance is the Super Match College Search. In there, students can search or filter their choices by location, major, diversity, cost, athletics, all different filters, and it'll help them narrow down choices of colleges across the country that meet their search criteria. Another tool that's available to them is Big Future on the College Board website. By now, almost all students have a College Board account set up, and they can explore or find college options and explore careers by using the Big Future search tools. For some students, they're not sure about college because they really are not sure about their career options or what exists out there. We've found that this resource, the California Career Zone website, to be a really good resource for students who really don't know what they want to do or what they are interested in studying. So there are different things they can do. They can discover their options. They can look at different industry sectors. They can look at careers that are around those areas, and it'll allow them to learn a little bit about themselves through the Explore tab, and then it'll link it to different college options based on what they found out about themselves through the search features. We've encouraged students to sign it up for an account. It's free, and to do some exploring within the website. I do want to talk a minute about Naviance. Naviance is a website that our school or district has paid for each student to have their own individual account. Like I said, the Super Match College Search feature is a really great tool within Naviance to help students figure out what colleges are out there, what their interests are, how those colleges align with their specific data, like their SAT score, and then help them make a decision about narrowing down some of those college options. There's also a career cluster or careers and clusters option where students can search by an industry sector like medical or healthcare, and then find careers that are within that cluster. There's also career assessments like on the California Career Zone website, and it'll help them take their interests and convert those to career options or majors that are available. It helps them to build their college list, and it's also where we as counselors will upload their documents to send to colleges. So this is where they will add their colleges, and we will safely send their documents like their transcript and their letters of recommendation to the different colleges that they've chosen. This is also where they will complete a brag sheet or a resume. It's really a survey to help us understand a little bit more about them. And that's how we as counselors will write their letters of recommendation based on that information for the schools that require it. Our district has made it very easy for students to log in or to access their Naviance account. In their Google Waffle, it's the little 9 boxes, it looks like a keypad. Students who are signed into their CVUSD account can scroll down and choose Naviance for Students. Once they do that, as long as they are signed into their CVUSD account, it will open up automatically. If they do have issues for whatever reason, please have them reach out to their counselor. We do want to talk a minute about narrowing down the choices, helping students figure out where they should apply for college. We're going to go in more depth about the different college options in just a couple of minutes, but we want to think a little bit more broadly, like how do we know what schools to pick? And we use these words with students: a reach school, target schools, safety schools. And students typically select or apply to a range of different schools. A reach school is going to be somewhere where they have maybe a 10 to 20% chance of being accepted. It's a dream school. It's a school that you probably shouldn't expect to be admitted to, but it would be really cool if you did. It's a reach to get into, and that could be because they only accept 3% of their applicants, like an Ivy League or USC or the Claremont, some of the Claremont colleges. Those schools are very selective in who they accept. So even for students who fall within their range, that could still be a reach school. A target school is when students fall within the range for that particular school, and the school has a typical 50 to 60% acceptance rate of their applicants. So they fall within the range of that school's GPA. They are applying to a major that school typically accepts students within their range. The students, if they took an SAT score, it would fall within the range for that school as well. And then a safety school is somewhere they're pretty sure they're going to get accepted into. And this can vary. This can be, for a lot of students, a community college is their safety school. They know that no matter what, they have a community college as an option. For some students, a safety school could be Cal Poly Pomona, and we'll talk a little bit about why that would be a good safety school for a lot of students. And for others who are some of the top in their class, a safety school could be a variety of other schools that fall where they would have about a 90% chance of being accepted. We also want to talk financially where students are able to afford. So if they can get into the school but can't afford to go there, we want to keep that in mind as well. So we talk to students about finding the right fit. It's a combination of different things, like location. Is the school located where the student wants to attend? If they've grown up on the West Coast, they've never been to the East Coast, and all of a sudden they want to move to New York, is that a good fit for location? Size. Our students are used to a fairly small or medium-sized high school, but for a college, 1,600 students would be incredibly small. Are they able and willing to go to a school that has 50,000 students, or are they looking for a smaller fit that's closer in size to what they're used to? They should consider academics. What programs does the school have? A lot of times we have students who I really want to go to a particular school, and then they realize that school doesn't even have the major that they're hoping to study. So there has to be a piece that fits in terms of academics. We have to factor in cost. How much is it going to cost to go there? Is it going to fit your family's financial situation? And then other things like extracurriculars, sports or activities, and social life. Do they have, are they active within the Greek societies? Do they have a glee club? Do they have an on-campus gym or rock climbing wall? Like a lot of different things that could be available to students. Do they have different clubs that are of interest? So finding the right fit is kind of a combination of all those things. And it is really important to have these conversations now during application season instead of waiting. And then the student is applying to all East Coast schools and you as a parent are like, no, not happening. And then they're out of options. Or you as a parent are like, this kid's getting out of my house like tomorrow. But they didn't apply to any colleges that would require them to move out of the house. So having some of those conversations right now will really help narrow down their college search process and what's available to them. We have made it really easy for them to check out a lot of different colleges. We have arranged for over 50 virtual college visits. So we have representatives from the different colleges all across the country who are setting up virtual appointments in the afternoon. So typically between 12:45 and 3 o'clock, we have different college reps coming to speak to our students. And we've been advertising those on our social media accounts as well as posting the links to them in the students' Google Classroom so that they can access them. Some that are coming up are the University of Arizona, Cal Poly Pomona, University of Oregon. Cal Poly Pomona would be one that I would put on the calendar and make sure that if you or your student, falls within the meeting the A through G requirements, they absolutely should be present at the Cal Poly Pomona visit on October 14th. It's right after school gets out. They have a chance to grab a snack and then listen to the representative go over why Cal Poly is a good option or might be a good option for them. So we encourage students to check out the virtual college visits. They are also posted on the front page of the college application resource guide. On there, we've also included not only the ones that are specific to our school and our students, we've also included links to outside virtual college visits. So some schools, they meet with like all of Southern California on a particular night with a rep. And so those are linked those are linked on our college application resource guide as well. And then we have some workshops coming up. We're going to talk about the different college options and the different college applications in a few minutes, but we do want to make sure that you know that we are here to help students through this application process. The Cal State application has changed this year because they've changed some of their requirements due to the COVID-19 situation. And so we want to make sure that students know how to complete the application appropriately. That application workshop is this Thursday, October 1st at 1:00 p.m. And then the UC application workshop is next Thursday, the 8th at 1:00 p.m. And the common application workshop is Friday, October 9th at 1:00 p.m. The link for each of these will be posted in the students' class of 2021 Google Classroom. These are for the students. If you want to listen in, you're welcome to do so, but it is geared to helping the students fill out their own college applications. And so please make sure that if they're applying to any of these schools, that you send them to these workshops so that we can help them fill out the applications correctly and appropriately.
Hello, my name is Ms. Mealy, and today we'll be going over the post-secondary options for our seniors. At South Hills, we know that our students have a big decision to make about their future. Whether it be going to a community college, a Cal State, a UC, a private or out-of-state school, a trade school, military, or going right to work, we want to make sure that our students have a solid plan for after graduation. Starting off with the California State University system, this is a very popular option for our students. This is a public four-year university where students must have a 2.5 or higher GPA. Some campuses might be able to consider a 2.0 through 2.49. Students must also have grades of C or better in all of their A through G courses. There are 23 campuses that go from Humboldt down to San Diego, and their admissions period opens up on October 1st, and the new deadline is changed to December 4th. There are two types of impaction through the Cal State system, one being program impaction, which means that a certain major is receiving more eligible applications than there are spaces available. There are also campuses that are impacted, which means that the campus receives more eligible applications than there are spaces. The following schools, Cal Poly SLO, Fresno State, Cal State LA, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Long Beach, San Diego State, and San Jose State are all campuses that are impacted. So please make sure when your student is applying to Cal States that they are not applying to all of these impacted schools just because their admission rate is a bit lower due to the impaction. Also, Cal Poly Pomona is our local area school. So applications received from students outside of the designated local area will be held to a higher admission requirement than those received from students inside the local area. So for us, our local area school is Cal Poly, so our students will get preferential admission if they meet the minimum requirements in a non-impacted major. The majors that are impacted, so the program impaction, are nursing, engineering, psychology, biology, or biological science. So these are a bit more selective and will often require a higher GPA than other majors. So it's important to think about this for your students who are applying to either impacted campuses or impacted majors. Please refer to the following matrix, which is linked here, for more information about majors and campuses that are impacted. And if you want to get a better understanding of that, as well as our local area school, check out the YouTube link on the bottom. A great opportunity is coming up from October 5th through October 9th. Each 23 Cal State campuses will be represented to present a short live session to provide a campus overview. So we will be advertising this on our social media. There will also be opportunities for question and answers. Your students must register on the link below. This is a great opportunity for them to get information about all of the campuses and hear from the admission reps. The next option is the UC system, the University of California. There are 10 campuses, 9 of them being undergraduate. Students must have a 3.0 or higher GPA for the UCs. They must have grades of C or better in all of their A through G classes, and a big difference from the UCs to the Cal States is the UCs require what's called personal insight questions. There is a full page full of information on our college resource guide, the website that was introduced to you earlier in the presentation. So be sure to check that out and have your students working on these personal insight questions right away. The application is open, so students can go in and start applying. They cannot submit until November 1st, and the admission period ends on November 30th. We have a lot of students that also apply to private and out-of-state universities. What's really important about this is to make sure that your students understand that the GPA and score requirements will vary. Deadlines and application requirements vary, so it is incredibly important that they know what the requirements are and when the deadlines are. With regards to out-of-state schools, the Western Undergraduate Exchange is a great opportunity for our students who live in the western regions and the states included below. Students who are residents of WUI states are eligible to request a reduced tuition for participating 2- and 4-year college programs outside of their home state. So below are some of the colleges that our students have attended through WUI. This is just something that they will have to check off when they apply to these schools and let the campuses know that they're applying through the Western Undergraduate Exchange. There is more information about this on our College Application Resource Guide website as well. We have university partnerships through the district with University of La Verne and APU. So students must meet the minimum admission requirements and submit an application by the deadline. There are codes that they will have to enter. So for APU, there is a code right there for the application fee waiver. And then for University of La Verne, there is no code necessary. They will be waived automatically. So admitted students who complete the FAFSA will receive a minimum financial aid package of $10,000 each year for both of these schools. Community college is a great option for our students. This is our 2-year option as well as certificate programs. There are no SAT or GPA requirements, and students must have a high school diploma. The schools that we work with closely are Mount SAC. The Connect 4 program is where students will be able to work with an admissions outreach officer through Mount SAC and get themselves registered and ready to go for the fall. This will begin early winter in our senior English classes. The Citrus College Promise Program is another program that we have our students work with if they're interested. This is a program where students can earn full tuition for 2 years if they meet certain requirements. More information on this will be on November 5th at 1 p.m., so make sure your seniors know if they're interested in Citrus College. We will be sharing all of this information on our social media and on our website. Also, the trade or certificate options is a great option for students who do not want to attend a traditional university or college. There are public and private options. Students can work towards certificates. Most of our community colleges have career and technical options, but there are also specific career and tech schools such as American Career College. Be sure to check the link here under the adult ed programs where students can see what options are available for them if they're interested in certificate options. As well, we know that some of our students are interested in attending either a military academy or going right to the military after high school. Please make sure that your students are checking out what the options are. This website here, todaysmilitary.com, is a great great resource for them to understand the branches of the military and what is entailed, and then reaching out to your local recruitment center for more information. So what are the next steps? I just gave you a lot of information about what's to come, what to consider in regards to college options or career options. We want to make sure that our seniors have finalized their college list. So last year we went over this information with them before the school closure, and we want to make sure that they have a solid list with regards to the schools that they want to apply. We want to make sure that they are adding their colleges to Naviance. So students will know how to do this. We will be reviewing Naviance in their senior English classes. We want to make sure that they are working hard in their current courses. Just because they have applied does not mean that they can now slack off. So we will not be dropping any academic classes. And we want to make sure that you as parents are having real conversations with your student about the plan for next year. There are times where we have families who are not in communication with each other, and students think one thing and the parents think another in regards to college. So please make sure you're having these conversations now. Now is the best time to start talking about what students want to do in their future. One of the most common questions we get in regards to the college application process has been about the SAT and the standardized test requirements for college applications. I will be going over SAT information, any changes that have come up, and resources. Many colleges and universities have waived the SAT requirement for the class of 2021. This includes the Cal States and UC schools. Please be sure to check individual school websites for clarification and requirements, and make sure to look for words such as test optional and test blind. Test optional means that schools are not requiring SAT scores for admission, but they will accept them if a student has taken an SAT or would like to submit one. Test blind means that they are completely waiving the SAT requirement and they will not accept or look at any standardized tests. The Cal States and the UCs have gone test blind this year. So if your students are applying to the Cal States and UCs only, they will not need an SAT. December is the last test date accepted for fall 2021 admission. So if your students are applying to test optional schools, or if the schools do require a test, December is the last date they will accept. To register for a test, they can visit collegeboard.org to register and for more information about the process. We are excited to share that the district has decided to hold a SAT school day on October 14th at 8 a.m. This opportunity is only open to Covina Valley 12th graders that opt in for the exam, which means students will have to choose and decide whether they want to take the exam and fill out a form to say that they would like to come on campus to take it. Students will be testing in cohorts of 12 with a singular test proctor. 6 feet social distancing between students will be observed, and many other safety protocols as well. Your students should have received information about this in their senior English classes, and you should have received an email or all call from the district with the link to opt your student in. If you did not, please be sure to call the counseling office and we can provide you with that link. We have also posted that link on our school website. More information about procedures will be coming soon, and we will be pushing out as much information as we can on our school website and through email correspondence. Khan Academy is a great resource if students want to practice for the SAT. They can sign into their College Board account. They can link their College Board account to Khan Academy for free personalized SAT prep. Here are some steps on how to get on, and this is a great way for students who are planning to come to our school day to do some practice beforehand.
Hi, it's Mrs. Hanson again, this time with important financial aid information. Financial aid is a very big topic and something that is very important in considering when choosing a college and deciding what school students should attend in the following fall. Because it is such a big topic, we want to make sure that we dedicate some time to talking specifically about financial aid. Financial aid, when we talk about it, is for students who are attending any college, university, trade school that's going to require them to pay for continued education. And so we want to make sure that you have all the information that you need in making informed decisions and applying for financial aid. So we decided that having a separate meeting would be most beneficial. So that meeting will be held on Thursday, October 8th at 6:30 p.m. It is a virtual meeting and it will be held via Google Meet. We do have a representative from Mount SAC who's going to be presenting from their financial aid office, and they'll be covering the different applications and what to do once you apply. What does that mean? How can you ensure that you've done it correctly? And some tips and tricks in completing the application process. So that is on Thursday, October 8th at 6:30. The link to the Google Meet will be on the website, the school website, as well as in the students' Google Classroom about an hour prior to the start of the meeting. I do want to cover a little bit of financial aid information though before that meeting. When we talk about financial aid, we typically talk about it in 3 different categories. First, we talk free money and words like grants and scholarships. That's money that's been provided by an organization or the government for students to continue their education, and that is money that does not need to get paid back. It is free money. So those are obviously really great and something that we want students to be able to get help accessing those. Another option is work study. So this means that a student would work part-time on campus when they're in college, and instead of earning a full paycheck, they would earn a very partial paycheck and the rest of it would go towards paying for their education. So that's one way that students can earn their way through college. And lastly, loans. Obviously, we want to be very careful with loans because this is money that must be repaid. And it's something to keep in mind when making a college decision. How much is too much when it comes to loans, and who's going to be taking out those loans, whether they're a parent through the PLUS loan program or the student. And we want to make sure that you understand what that means and what students understand what that means when they take out loans. So please mark your calendars to come to the virtual event on Thursday, October 8th at 6:30 p.m. So something that people will hear, you might hear very often, is FAFSA. It stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. The FAFSA itself does not provide any money. It is an application, and you're applying to the government and saying, I want to go to college and I need help paying for it. Here's my application. And then from there, they will issue a number saying that this is how much you are responsible for paying for, and this is how much the government will assist you in paying for your education. So through the FAFSA, students will be offered, through their college, they'll be offered grants or loans or work study. There's also the California DREAM Act application. That is for students who are undocumented or don't have a social security number who are unable to complete the FAFSA. Something important to mention about financial aid, we do have a pretty robust system in California. California issues Cal Grants, and Cal Grants are determined based on 2 factors. One, financial need as determined by the FAFSA, and GPA, how well did the student do in high school, and that's going to determine how likely they are to complete college or to complete a degree. For Cal Grants, it's important to keep in mind that the application period is October 1st to March 2nd. They absolutely must apply by March 2nd. So the application opens on October 1st. I would encourage you to wait until after the meeting until October 8th to get more information. There won't be any issue or penalty for waiting a couple of days, but do not wait until after March 2nd or students will not qualify for Cal Grants. You can see on there the Cal Grant program income ceilings, and this is based on what the qualifying incomes are for Cal Grants. So, but it's based on both factors, both financial need and GPA. So students who have a 3.0 or higher, They can qualify for the tuition to be paid at a four-year university like a Cal State or a UC. And students with a 2.0 or higher would qualify for their their tuition to be paid at a community college if they meet the income ceiling. We want to make sure that we are providing assistance in completing the FAFSA. The first opportunity to get assistance is from Mount SAC. They are offering a Cash for College virtual scholarship, financial aid, and webinar, and they will help students and parents specifically fill out the FAFSA as well as provide assistance. And so we would strongly recommend that you get it done October 17th. Sign up for an appointment, and you'll be able to get help with the FAFSA at that time through a virtual format. We also want to make sure that students have the opportunity to earn scholarships. One scholarship that is available is the College Board Opportunity Scholarship. Since our students are already accessing College Board, they're already building their college list, they're already completing the FAFSA, when they do these different things, they have the opportunity to be entered into a drawing for a scholarship. Last year, we had a couple of different students in our district win, and one of them was at our school, and I think he won a $1,000 scholarship. So it is a cool opportunity for students to participate in, especially since these are some of the things that they should be doing anyways. We also post scholarships on our school website, especially for local scholarships, like our PTA scholarships or some of our local organizations. They offer scholarships every year. We post those on our school website. We post them in Naviance, and then we post them on social media. And so those are also opportunities for students to earn scholarships, which again is free money. So that's about all I'm going to cover for financial aid tonight. Again, it's important that you try to make it to the financial aid meeting, which will be held on October 8th at 6:30 p.m. It'll be live with Mount SAC and the South Hills counselors, and we'll be covering what you need to know to file for financial aid.
Hello, this is Mr. Heflin, and I'm going to talk to you now about some other helpful information. For seniors who are currently enrolled in an AP or IB class or classes, now is the time to register for the exams. The exams are still scheduled to take place in May, but we are required to place the order during the first week of November. In order to register for the exams, students need to visit the total registration links posted here. They should already have this information posted in their Google Classrooms for their AP and or IB classes. The cost for AP exams is $100 per test, and for the IB exams, the cost is $125 per test. For students who qualify for free or reduced lunch, the cost of each exam is reduced. As a reminder, you must reapply for free or reduced lunch prices every year. For those who qualified last year but have not yet reapplied this year, your benefits ended last week, and you must reapply for this school year to continue to receive these services. You can find the link here or on the front page of the South Hills website and the Covina Valley Unified School District website. It is important for parents of seniors to continue to check the parent portal regarding your students' grades and attendance. We know that often parents are trying to release some responsibility to the students as they are quickly becoming adults, and we appreciate that. But please continue to monitor them, especially during distance learning. To access the portal, you can find the link on the South Hills website and sign in using the same account you used to verify your child's enrollment this summer. As a reminder, report cards will not be sent home through the mail, but can be accessed through the parent portal. If you need help, please call the counseling office, and our wonderful secretary, Ms. Courtney Greenhagen, will be happy to help you. The well-being of our students is one of our top priorities as a counseling team. We have put together many resources for our students and community on our website under the Wellness tab. You will find our Wellness Center website, which is full of resources, as well as the virtual calming space, which students and parents can use as needed. As well, we have student peer counselors who are in training to help support our students once they return to campus. You can also reach out to your student's counselor if you feel that your student is in need of mental health support, and we can provide community resources and referrals. The Community Resource Guide can also be found on the Wellness Center website under the Community Resources tab. As well, we have food and shelter resources for families in need. Lastly, we have a slide with random questions that we often get asked and don't usually have the answer to. But we have found them here but we have found them for you here now. For students who still need to take their senior pictures, the makeup dates will take place in October and you will receive more information soon. If your child has already taken photos and you have questions about them, please contact the photography company directly at the phone or email address on the screen. We will still be using Jostens to place cap and gown orders as well as order class rings and senior gear. In early November, Jostens will send home more information regarding the ordering process for caps and gowns and announcements. As some sports have slowly been released to begin modified practices, it is important to make sure that your child is cleared to participate by completing the athletic clearance process. To start, your child will need to create a profile on the Athletic Clearance website. The link can be found under Athletics on the front page of the South Hills website. After having a physical exam, you will need to upload the document to the website. If you have any questions about this process or any of the other things mentioned on this slide, please call the ASB office at area code 626-974-6210. Thank you for joining us this evening. We know that we covered a lot of information and that this time of year can seem a bit overwhelming. Please know that counselors are working every day to assist your child through their senior year. If you have a question, please reach out to us. Please keep in mind that we are presenting to classes and attending virtual meetings and college visits. Responding back may take up to 48 hours via email. If you have an immediate concern, please call and speak to our secretary so that she can find someone to help you. We appreciate your time and look forward to working with you and your child throughout this school year. If you have any general questions that have not already been answered through this presentation, please type them in the chat. We will leave this link open for about 30 minutes to try and respond to all or as many questions as possible. Thank you and have a good evening.